A very good evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and their dignitaries present here. Manpower without unity is not strength. Unless it is harmonized and united properly, then it becomes a spiritual power. Today, we are celebrating 25 glorious years of Mecon Communication Club. I am filled with utmost pride and gratitude because of unwavering commitment and relentless efforts of our club founders, speakers, leaders, and dedicated members who've been instrumental in reaching this significant milestone. Their dedication and commitment has been the cornerstone of our longevity and illuminating success. Talking about illumination, quite literally, it's time to begin our auspicious event by lighting a lamp. The lighting of lamp is not just a symbolic gesture, but also a representation of the light of knowledge, positivity, and unity. May its glow inspire us to continue illuminating the path of success, just like how our club has done from the past 25 years. I would like to extend a heartfelt invitation to DTM K Prabhakara, DTM U Bhat, DTM Nagaraja Rao, DTM Arjun, Toastmaster Balaji, and DTM Udanka Arjun. To kindly join us on stage for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp. Your wisdom, guidance, and support have been invaluable to us, and we are honored to have you mark the beginning of this special celebration. I will be reciting an ancient Sanskrit stanza, and I will also translate it and interpret the meaning. Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Overall, this shloka is a prayer seeking guidance from the real to unreal, from darkness to light. It reflects that being together as a team matters the most. In the process of being together, we derive intellectual strength. Peace will prevail. This is the essence on which Mecon has been standing for the past 25 years and will be in the future too. Together, we have won and we will be winning. Now, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sandeep Kumar to address on behalf of Mecon Ltd. Can we have a huge round of applause for that?
Good evening, everyone. The Mecon management expressed their delight on this occasion of 25th year celebration of Mecon Communication Club. Mecon management wishes the very best for the club, and as stated by the management on many occasions, latest being the installation ceremony in July, Mecon will always support the club in future as well. I, being a member as well as employee of Mecon Ltd Bangalore, I have been here almost half the time. next after maybe DTN, K Prabhakara, U Bhat and Nagaraja Rao, very few. So the learnings in the club meetings have got immense value addition in my life. I'm sure the same is the case with many others who are present here or who have been the club members in last 25 years. Mecon Ltd is an engineering organization under Ministry of Steel, Government of India, and has executed successfully the second launch pad in Sriharikota of ISRO. It has been a long back, and ISRO is collecting accolades today from both India and international community for successful landing at the moon. I wish the same success for the club as well. We have already presence beyond our district in terms of DTM Nagaraja Rao, past region director. We have Toastmaster Ajay representing us, who has won district level international speech contest and represented us in US. I wish the same success for the club in future as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep, for your valuable words, and a special mention to Mecon Ltd for always supporting us throughout the years. There's one person in this room who I know believes in team spirit the most. The first time I asked him, please give me your introduction, he told, anything is okay. And then he told, hey, Tommy Barrow, if you call me like that also I'll come. He is a person who has hosted over 700 events, worked as a sales manager in Zomato and sales head in Swiggy. He has trained over 10,000 students with personality development, touched over 15 institutions speaking about women empowerment and importance of women population, judged over 60 events in the top universities of the states. He is a principal at Achieve School of Education, but a student in Toastmaster. A little flex, he is the only speaker who is a runner-up at district level at evaluation and speech contest in Toastmaster International. Just one small fact about him, he will make a prepared speech look like a table topic response, and a table topic response look like a prepared speech. So please help me welcome the president of Mecon Communication Club with a huge round of applause, Toastmaster Balaji AS.
So this is exactly why I say, please don't give any kind of introduction. Because you would have lied so much in that introduction so that you can inspire and fool your kids, but then here the audience is a smart audience. Right? Too loud, right?
Yeah.
Before I get to this one. Firstly, how you all doing?
Good.
Are you all doing good?
Yes.
Firstly, can we have a comfortable wiggle? Let's wiggle comfortably. I mean, the wiggle shouldn't be uncomfortable. I have a few questions to ask all of you. What is the biggest milestone that you have hit in the past 1 or 2 years? A milestone could be anything according to you. Maybe 20 years of education completed, maybe 30 years of marriage, or maybe even one year of marriage. Right? A milestone is a milestone according to you. Have you hit any milestone?
I gained 7 kg, sir.
You gained. It is not a milestone, Ajay, because I gained 20 kgs in the last 1 hour.
You win.
Thank you. But 7 kgs is interesting. Good. Yes, sir.
I've lost 50.
You've lost 15
I
kgs.
have lost 50.
Oh, you hit your 50. Fantastic. Yes, sir.
He claimed Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa.
Oh!
Wow.
Hey, these have to be
No
real,
wonder,
right?
no wonder you were singing that song for Lalana ma'am. Kilimanjaro. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. Anyone else? Anyone else?
I got a promotion.
You got a promotion? So I think that's a milestone for the company. It shouldn't have happened. Congratulations, Sindhu. Yes, ma'am.
I went to Kailash.
Congratulations. Anyone else? Anyone else?
I made my first appearance in High Court.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, don't worry. She's here with a legal bail. Yes, ma'am.
I recently, I knew swimming from childhood, but now recently, last 4 months back, I learned the proper stroke, and I'm regularly going to my swimming.
Wow. But I thought floating comes naturally for the body type that we have, ma'am. But I mean, just say, only I can do that.
Yeah.
Only fat people can make fun of fat people. Nobody is allowed to. Sushrut, never. Don't even think of it. Anything else? Anything else? One last. Yes, sir.
I gave an audition and Mahadevan Academy, they selected me for an event.
Fantastic. For those who don't know Vijay sir is basically the silent killer of our club. Right? Yes, Jeevita, you raised your hand.
It was the first time I trained in international universities, so it was a dream come true moment.
Wow. You know what's my biggest flex right now?
Gaining 20 kgs.
That's already flexing.
Being the president and
At the
25 years
president.
anniversary.
I was supposed to break that ice. If someone asked me what is your biggest flex, if someone would have asked me this like 3 months ago, I think the biggest flex, in fact, one of my gurus, my boss, is an ardent Toastmaster. And he was always telling, see, Mecon, everybody will join. You become the president and show. In a very colloquial manner, oh, Mecon, like you're some big deal. You become the president of Mecon and show, then I'll accept you're a big deal. Immediately after the announcement was made, even before I could send a thank you to the club group, I sent it to my guru, my boss, and I told him, in your face, Pavani. And now I have a bigger flex because I'm the president of a club like Mecon Communication on its 25th year anniversary. How many clubs get to be there? And how many clubs will have an audience like we have today? Can we give a fantastic round of applause to the itself? I'm going to keep my talk super simple, super crisp, no stories, no more flexes. But I definitely want to tell all of them here, because 25 years of a milestone is just a number. But today, if we have people like DTM Nagaraja Rao calling and asking who are the ones coming in, and today if people like DTM Arjun says, you know what, I am definitely going to be there. And today if we have people like Vijay coming in and telling, you know what, you have to make it big because your club deserves it. And today we have Gauri ma'am, who doesn't clearly remember me, but I remember her talk. We have people like Gauri Sheshadri who have come in. And don't catch me if I'm missing out on a few names. It's all impromptu, like the sergeant rightly said. If they're all coming here for the milestone meeting, it's not because we hit 25 years. It's not at all because we hit 25 years. But sir, AKP sir, I'm sorry, it's not because we hit 25 years. It's only because Mecon hit 25 years of excellence. Right? 25 years of excellence is what makes this event the event that it is. The number of leaders Mecon has generated, the number of speakers that Mecon has generated, the number of presidents, the kind of content. And I will definitely not end this speech. I'm sure a lot of them will quote them. If this club is honestly such a curated, tailor-made club and really looked upon for its 25 years of excellence, it's because Rab ne bana di jodi. Not that kind of jodi. There is another jodi in Mecon. Let us give a nice round of applause for the jodi in Mecon, DTM K Prabhakara and DTM U Bhat. I am not gonna lie. Today I'm sure they should, or not should, you deserve to swell your chest up more than 25th year anniversaries that you probably would have celebrated 25 years ago. A club started with like-minded people who were already 40 and above. And we have two from that initial founding team still here, coming back day in and day out. And it's not just the 3 hours that has been given. It's the kind of people that are here who call you even at 10 o'clock if you need help. And that's what makes Mecon what it is. And today, I'm just here to say we're not here to celebrate 25 years of Mecon. We are here to celebrate 25 years of
Excellence.
Wow. We are here to celebrate 25 years of
Excellence.
Wow. One last time. We are here to celebrate 25 years of
Excellence.
of Mecon Communication Club. And for that, let's have the round of applause. And let us get the show beginning. If you want me to formally do this, let's do this. I now open meeting number 1228. And to keep you all hooked to the show, to keep you all going, to keep you all engaged, we have two fantastic MCs. Speaking of Rabne Banadi Jodis, when it comes to MCing, they're also a fantastic jodi, a great duo. There are a lot of people who contributed in the success of club, but there was this one person who supported the club when there literally was some requirement that nobody else could have fulfilled at that point in time. Recently, I told my kids, you know what, we need to have gavel clubs at school. And all I had was content being put on YouTube. The tech genius, the one who's been tirelessly working, all the hybrid meetings, all the online meetings, someone who spearheaded it from the start till the end. Let's give it up for our MC number 1, Toastmasters Sai Snehal. He is a complete man. The only thing missing is he hasn't completed his pathways yet. I'm sure that's going to happen. Triple Crown Award. And then we have Sindhu, new energy, new power that's joined us, who's keeping things intact. One of the finest evaluation sessions that I have been a part of. A couple of them didn't cry. Kudos to them. But what a great evaluator, our MC number 2, Toastmaster Sindhu, and MC Shivaprasad.
Thank you for the warm and wonderful introduction, President Balaji.
My introduction wasn't as nice as your side. Probably since that day I lost to Balaji in the ISC area contest, all my introductions look as deflated as a balloon in a birthday party. And hopefully someday the table turns on Balaji, because I've joined Mecon and learning from the greatest of the greatest. and someday soon I can overcome that fear, and probably the tables turn, and that's all. But you're a quite sharp dresser today, Sai. I mean, you're looking great. Even your dates with Gaurav haven't seen such a fancy attire. Like, what's going on? The sharp haircut, the smile. Clearly, he's celebrating something. So, what is the big occasion?
Are you checking me out, Sindhushree? Because I haven't dressed up only for Gaurav Badri here today, but I've dressed up for all our dignitaries here who are here to celebrate our milestone meeting today. It is with immense pleasure and anticipation that I stand before you as the host, Sai Snehal Reddy,
And Sindhushree Sridhar.
of this extraordinary event where we gather to celebrate a journey of 25 years filled with inspiration, growth, and meaningful connections. Today, we embark on a journey down a memory lane, honoring the past and embracing the future as we commemorate the remarkable achievements of our Toastmaster Club. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be inspired as we celebrate a legacy that continues to shine brightly. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move forward with our program, let us take a moment to stand together as a united community. As we rise for the national anthem, let us reflect on the values, respect, integrity, service, and excellence, and unity that binds us. And honor the land we call home. A land that gives us achievements that go till the moon, making us feel over the moon. Let us please rise for the national anthem. Today, as we reflect upon the incredible journey of our Toastmasters Club reaching its 25-year milestone, numerous individuals as presidents have helped us and shaped the way we are and where we are today. To name a few, U Bhat, K Prabhakara, Nagaraja Rao, Dr. Vijay, Ajay Ranjan, Sandeep, Amitabha, Supreet, Shushma, Balaji, Udanka, Sai Snehal, Ankita, Lalana, and Gauri. If I haven't quoted your name, you're here, from the bottom of my heart. And if you're watching the recording, we deeply know your efforts and contributions towards the club.
It is a privilege to acknowledge the pivotal role played by our second president of our club. His tenure marked a significant phase in our club's evolution, shaping its culture, value, and direction. He is a distinguished charter member and has showcased exemplary leadership by serving as the president for 4 terms, VP Education for 4 terms, VP Public Relations for a term, and as a finance manager for the Territorial Council of South Asia. His dedication of the Toastmasters is evident in his facilitation of 4 youth leadership programs and 2 speechcraft programs. Beyond club activities, he has represented his club in inter-club, area, and division level humorous speech contest. Professionally, he retired as the Deputy General Manager of Mecon Ltd. Outside of his professional and Toastmaster journey, he is a deeply passionate about Hindustani music and a devoted disciple of the late Pandit Sheshadri. His visionary leadership and dedication served as a cornerstone of our club's growth during his presidency. He demonstrated a commitment of fostering a nurturing environment for learning and growth, setting the stage for success and camaraderie that defines us today. If you copy from one source, it's plagiarism. But if you copy from multiple sources, it's called research. To hear more about Mecon Communication Club, the beginning, let's call the researcher, the humor king of Mecon Communication Club, DTM U Bhat, with a huge round of applause.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sindhushree, for that effusive introduction. Of course, that embellishments were perhaps, at least I liked it, whether this deserves or not. Anyway, so assembled dignitaries of Toastmasters fraternity, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Wow, what an occasion! 25 years long journey, and still going strong. It was on this very day, August 27th, 1998, 25 years back, that our club had the first meeting of Mecon Communication Club on the 6th floor of Nrupatunga Road office of Mecon. on in this momentous occasion today on the Silver Jubilee, I think let us look back and retrace some of our steps, early steps what we took, and the journey thereon. When the visionary Toastmaster UK Sharma took the first step in trying to convince our Mecon management to start a corporate club in Mecon, many eyebrows are raised. Mecon in corporate setting, that too in public sector, was the question asked. But UK Sharma was unfazed because he felt that technical people, all these engineers, me, Prabhakara, most of the technical people, they somehow are rather poor in communication skills. Somehow our management also was convinced that yes, this is the need to improve communication skills. So the first club of its kind in public sector in India, and the only club of its kind, and the fourth oldest club in India, was started in 1998. So now let us see what really happened after that. Leadership, the many qualities of leadership are there, criterion of leadership. One of the major criteria of leadership, they say, is the ability to see beyond what is visible at present. That's one of the leadership criteria. And UK Sharma, in his vision and leadership, under his vision and leadership, we took two major initiatives which took not only our club, which gave our club, Mecon Communication Club, and not only our club, but the Toastmasters movement in India, a new dimension. The first initiative was to bring all the existing clubs then on a single platform, because there are all the clubs what are called the undistricted clubs. There are no district as such, individual clubs. There are 5-6 clubs of them. All of them were unrestricted, operating independently like an island. No interaction between each other, independent operation. We consciously decided to bring them in a single platform, and what we did, we first invited them to our chartering ceremony in AT Hotel, which was the one of the grandest of our affair of those days. We not only called them, we followed it up by visit to all these clubs. And interaction, what followed was interaction and the synergy between the various clubs. Interestingly, at the same time, there was another gentleman, this is from Toastmasters Colombo Toastmasters Club, who was our Balraj Arunachalam, who went on to become our international president of Toastmasters. He got the same vision of bringing the Toastmasters Club together. When he visited Bangalore in 2002 around, if I remember, he had a meeting with few of like-minded people like us, and the Territorial Council of South Asia was born. Seeing the proactive effort of Mecon Communication Club, our UK Sharma was elected as the chairman of the Territorial Council of South Asia, and I had the privilege of being the treasurer of the Territorial Council. Soon the interaction between the clubs started, and joint meetings, inter-club contests and all that, and over a period it went on to the District 82B provisional, which was converted to a full-fledged district somewhere, and then the whole floodgate opened of Toastmaster movement in India. That was the first thing, and it's very gratifying that Mecon Communication Club was in the forefront of that exciting journey. The second initiative was opening the doors of Mecon to outside community as a social initiative. But it was somehow useful to our for visibility of Mecon also. And what happened was, if you recollect, from 45 years back when I came to Bangalore, Mecon was unknown in Bangalore because it was a steel belt company. We had a steel designers. When I asked somebody, I work for Mecon Ltd. He said, yes, sir, I know. You are the calculator company. It was Mecon. And I had to convince us, no, we are the largest, one of the biggest of its kind engineering consultancy company in the country. And today when everybody rejoices on the moon landing, how many people even today know that Mecon is the one who designed and the engineer, erected and commissioned the second launching pad, the stage from which the Chandrayaan-3 was launched. So when we opened these doors of Mecon to outsiders, the first person to join was our Nagaraja Rao, who became the first non-Meconian to become the president, who went on to become the district governor and international president. With new blood and energy, what has come to the because of the subsequent to Nagaraja Rao, our club has taken to a new height. Since then, it has grown like anything. And another thing about this is, when we started the club, we had the support of one great man, distinguished Toastmaster Lalana, who was there with us from the beginning for 2 years' time, who guided us and motivated us. I think this deserves a big round of applause for that. So over the last 25 years, because of this fresh blood and energy what we have got from outside, our club has grown for what it is today. And it is, I'm sure, and last 25 years has been a highly fulfilling experience for me, I'm sure for most of you also. So much so, probably I am eagerly waiting to attend our Golden Jubilee celebrations. And why not? I am only 75 years young today, so I may be able to see it also. So let me congratulate all the persons who have been our partners in this long 25 journey of ours. Let us together rededicate ourselves to the Ralph Medley slogan of making effective oral communication a worldwide reality. Back to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat, for that inspiring information about how Toastmasters movement was formed and also how Mecon Communication Club was formed. So Sindhu, how are the preparations for the 25th year meeting?
So the preparations to the 25th year meeting was very, very, very exhaustive. I could see from the very day one that Balaji was very exhausted. He didn't know what exactly to do, and he was asking for the help of Udanka and Snehal. And suddenly they did not know who the MCs was, and Sanjana was roped in at the last moment. We pitched in, and somehow we became the MCs to the event. And later Gauri didn't know anything. He just wanted to chill the entire moment, and we can see that him doing all this moment. And in between all this, we had the executive committee meetings, and we had Ajay, and we had Pavani. Pavani was more exhausted because she had to prepare the news at the last moment, and the number of calls you guys made for her and planned her, irritated her. Oh God, it went on and on and on and on and on. It just kept going.
Stop.
I think we're all exhausted.
You could use a little help in making your communication a little more effective. Meet the only man of Mecon who holds the key to unlocking the mysteries of communication. With his guidance, you can boldly develop and perfect your communication skills and learn the nuances of communication.
Wait, I think I know who that is. He graduated with a BE in Electrical from UVCE, Bangalore in 1973 and retired as a Joint General Manager of Mecon Ltd. Since embarking on his Toastmasters journey in 1998, he's been a foundational member of Mecon Communication Club, serving as its third president and holding various leadership roles both at club and district levels. He's passionate about mentoring. He's guided numerous Toastmasters and developed a unique model for speech construction. A fellow of IETE and a member of Bangalore Science Forum, he also facilitates FFE, aiding economically challenged and academically outstanding students.
His accolades in Toastmasters include numerous educational sessions and club level awards. He's conducted over 50 educational sessions on communication and leadership skills. Please give it up for the visionary leader, eminent mentor of Mecon, DTM K Prabhakara, with a huge round of applause.
Am I visible? Audible, I suppose.
Yes.
We thought Mr. U Bhat, DTM U Bhat spoke about launching Part 2. You know, it's just a coincidence. Launching Part 2 was really, as a project, was launched in March 1999. March 1999. Mecon Communication Club was chartered in May 1999. We started the club on 27th August 1998, and around the same time this project LP2 must have been conceived. And the LP2 launch pad finally has launched the Chandrayaan 3, and in between there are a number of satellites that have been sent. Mecon Communication Club also has sent into the club, the communication arena, more than 500 such satellites, the members, over the years. You can check our website. More than 500 people have gone through Toastmasters Club, Mecon Communication Club. Thank you, Toastmasters, for that wonderful introduction. Years ago, Bill Clinton, the former president of USA, was supposed to be on an official visit to Japan. He was accompanied by his wife Hillary Clinton. He was to be received as per protocol by Japanese Prime Minister. He was busy till the very end, at the point at which the Air Force One plane was supposed to land. Somehow, the interpreters were jittery, nervous, but the Prime Minister makes time for them, and the presidential plane door opens. The Japanese PM is given one instruction by the interpreter. Sir, all you have to do when the Clinton comes down, hand over this bouquet to him and say, how are you? He will say, I'm fine. And he will ask you, how are you? You say, me too. After that, we will take over. Clinton comes down, followed by Hillary Clinton. Japanese PM moves towards Clinton, hands over the bouquet to him. Instead of saying, how are you, he says, who are you? Clinton is taken aback, but regains his composure, and he too wants to have some fun. He says, I'm Hillary's husband. For that, the Japanese PM says, me too. Ladies and gentlemen, this would not have happened if Japanese PM were to join Toastmasters. You know, the reason, one immediate thing in Toastmasters that is told is that if you want to speak, write it down first. Then, what happens is that when you write down what you want to see, there's a connection that is established between mind and hand. And what you want to say is brought out physically outside. One of the famous psychologists, Canadian psychologist, Jordan Peterson, says that if you want to straighten out your thinking, start writing. Straightening thinking, I'm talking about that. So, rule number one, dictum number one is write first, speak next. Axiom rule number 2, which is really one that is talked about in Toastmaster circles, at least in my era when we grew up into the Toastmasters space, is a saying from the World War II time. That saying goes like this: tell what you want to tell them. Tell them what you have told them. That means the instruction has to be clear, completely understood by the audience. In this case, the World War II soldiers, because if they don't follow the instruction, the battle may be lost, or they may even die. So to prevent that, the instruction had to be repeated. But this is what is advised for any audience, any speaker to communicate also. But if you do that, people get bored. And the way to overcome is tactically it has to be applied, smartly it has to be used. It is best exemplified in a speech by Dhananjay Hitarachi of Sri Lanka. The speech went on to win World Championship of Public Speaking. The speech is titled, "I see something," that's all. But he uses that extended sentence, "I see something in you, I don't know what it is," he says. And that he repeated several times, creating circumstances to use it. And that ensured that audience are left with no doubt as to what he is trying to convey. That, if you see, is way above ordinary speaking, public speaking, like Toastmasters who have just started. Our own club, the homegrown club member, his speech titled, the "Be Like Water." He has a style for that. Be like water. It went on to win from club contest to he became a district champion, went on to represent India, and in 2015 World Championship of Public Speaking in Las Vegas. Ajay Chittaranjan's speech, let's give him a round of applause for that. He used that sentence several times smartly, or implying the same thing, that be like water, be flexible. And that speech, that line endeared him to the audience. The speech was really loud. The point is that one single sentence repeated here and there, and that too in the way creating the circumstances towards that makes tremendous impact. That is axiom rule number 2. The most important one is storytelling. They say story sells, anecdote sells, examples have sells, fine. But it has to be told in the right mixture. Like, the story has plot, action, setting, characters, conflict, and climax. If this has to be done, it has to be right, mixture has to be put across. The right mixture has to come, it has to gel, it has to come. But that is not the end of it. The other one, the point in that is that at the end of this anecdote or story, you have to make an observation. An observation that is really in line with the speech, the theme, and that is little bit creative, I would say. And of course, the conclusion also should go with it. But can it all go together? Just 3 weeks back, one of our members gave one such speech, and she started by saying, apply, no reply. Everybody understood, you are all smiling. Everybody understood it was if she was going to talk about unemployment situation she faced. And she gave her life's experience of going through the interview and not getting it, finally getting it. And she made an observation like this. When she said like this, when I look back as to why I got the job that she was looking for, she said, I believe I got it because I went beyond my belief and value system. And concluded by saying that if you aspire for something, universe will conspire to give it to you. Aspire, conspire, belief system, value system. I have not heard the speech or seen it once again on YouTube of Snehal already, but I still remain seeing it. It made an impact. The right observation, the right conclusion. That speech was made by our member Jyoti Rao. Let's give her a round of applause. These are few of my favorite fundamental nuances of communication. Fundamentals are a little tricky because it has funda and it is mental. If you apply these rules, you may not win a Toastmasters International Championship speech contest, or you may win. Or you may win an election like Nagaraja Rao did to become international director, or Gauri Sheshadri did to win the international director's election, or you may not win. But one thing I assure you, if you adopt these rules in a club meeting, you are going to get a thunderous round of applause, and you may win an award like a ribbon. I'm sure of that. Over to Toastmasters.
Thank you, distinguished K Prabhakara, for that beautiful session on fundamentals of nuances of communication.
So Sai, what did you get from Toastmasters after all this while?
What did I get from Toastmasters? Well, I got you, Ajay, Balaji, Gauri, Udanka, and a little bit of public speaking skills. But there's one person who has made the most of his Toastmasters journey. So Sindhu, why don't you go ahead and invite the next speaker?
Ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker on the stage needs no introduction but definitely deserves my introduction. A voracious reader, some of his favorite books are The Road Less Traveled, The Rich Dad Poor Dad, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. An avid listener, he believes how well you speak depends upon how well you listen. A deep thinker, he is known for his thought-provoking speeches and inspirational writings. A great motivator and a master delegator. He brings out the best in people around him. He truly believes and enjoys practicing servant leadership all the time. His list of mentees include district directors, region advisors, international directors, and the past, and that stops there. And when he's not a Toastmaster, he is a roast master. So please welcome the past international director, DTM Nagaraja Rao, with a huge round of applause.
Thank you for the great introduction. Good evening.
Good evening.
Is it possible to predict who in this room will become successful or not? This was a question asked by an American psychologist named Angela Duckworth in one of her TED Talks. She has studied a large number of people, adults and children, in different challenging circumstances. She has been to military academy and tried to predict which of those cadets will eventually complete the course and pass out and graduate from the military academy. She has been to national spelling bee competitions and tried to predict which of those children will advance to the next level or the farthest. She has been to corporations, private companies, trying to predict which of those salesmen will close maximum number of deals and get promoted at the end of the year. And one significant predictor of success emerged in all her studies, because she was always asking this question: who in this situation is most likely to succeed? And the answer is this: it was not physical health, not good looks, not IQ, not EQ, not even social intelligence, but it was something called grit. Grit is the quality of being committed to your long-term goals. It is the quality of sticking on with your vision for the future, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years to come. And this is exactly what I got from Toastmasters. When I joined Toastmasters, I experienced a string of failures, and I'm so proud of it. In fact, it started right from the day when I became the Vice President Education. As Mr. Bhatt said, it was an undistricted club at that time, and due to my naivety or innocence, I wanted to organize an inter-club speech contest. So we called some people from different clubs. We put together a panel of judges, and I joined as a contestant. I am not supposed to be a contestant, but I took part in the contest. And now the contest is over, and in my mind, I have done a great job. and it's the time to declare the results. The judge is here, and I am very excited. I'm waiting to hear the result, and he goes on stage and he says, okay, the third place goes to somebody else. I'm getting more excited. My heart is pounding. Oh, did I do so well? I'm going to get the second prize. The second place goes to somebody else. I can't believe my ears. Am I such a great speaker? First time I'm taking part in a contest and I'm being the winner. The first place goes to somebody else. You know, I was dumbstruck. I could not believe my ears. How is it possible? It is I who organized the whole event. In fact, I handpicked the judges. How can they do that to me? Didn't they have so much sense to win at least one place? And I was so dejected, I stopped coming to the club. 3 weeks went by and my mentor called me. He said, Nagaraj, now that you are speaking, you are doing well, you should not stop here. Don't get disheartened. You know, listen, when you try something new, you either succeed or fail, right? So when you succeed, it means you have learnt a new skill. When you fail, you adapt. You learn from your mistake and go on. So keep moving. And I started speaking again. I went to Colombo, Sri Lanka as a contestant to take part in the district speech contest. I failed as a speaker, but came back as a division director. Next year, I organized a district conference, which was a grand success, but I failed to get nominated as a club growth director. After that, I won the election as a PQD, Program Quality Director. And in 2011, when I became district director, I failed to reach my own targets, which I set as a district director for my own district. I became a region advisor, but my first training session in Beijing was an absolute disaster. I got elected as an international director, but 2 years later, I failed even to get nominated as a candidate for second vice president. I am the first Indian to judge at the finals of the World Championship of Public Speaking, but till today, I have failed to get a table topic ribbon at Mecon Communication. How lucky I am to experience so many failures. And thank God it is in Toastmasters and not in business. I had the luxury of trying so many new things and failing in so many new ways. And through every speech I gave, every role I took, I learned something new. I learned how to receive and give constructive feedback. I learned how to enable and empower my team members, and I became a better person. This grit, the ability not to give up on your long-term goals, has yielded immense results in my professional life. When I joined Toastmasters, we were a firm which we had about 12 people working for us. Now we have grown into a 300 strong company. From being a local player in Bangalore, we now have a pan-India presence. From catering to customers like Shanti Sagar, we have now key customers like Costa Coffee, Nestle, McDonald's, and Tim Hortons. And to all this, I am so grateful for this particular attitude of not giving up, which I got from Toastmasters. And this has percolated to my personal life too. I have gained some amazing friendships with wonderful people like K Prabhakara, U Bhat, Dr. Vijay, Gauri, Sheshadri, Vanitha, Nagaraja Rao, Arjun, Kumaran, lots of people. And this is something which has enriched my life, to which I am very grateful. Friends, I know my story is not unique. Each one of you have your own story to tell, your own distinctive journey to share. And you have your own takeaway from Toastmasters. That is the magic of Mecon. All of us have failed together, we have learned together, grown together. We have raised our glasses to success, big and small. And most importantly, we have never given up on our long-term goals. as we celebrate our Silver Jubilee, ladies and gentlemen, let us fail more often, fall harder, and fly higher. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Nagaraja Rao, for inspiring us on what we can get from Toastmasters and how we can use the grit as a resource to learn, grow, and also earn.
I would like to now invite our immediate past International Director, DTM Gauri Sheshadri, to kindly share a few words with the audience. Please welcome her with a huge round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the laughter when they introduced me. There's no such thing as immediate past international director, but it's my first time since coming back, since pinning Pavas Chandra, not pinning him down, but pinning him with the international director pin. And I come here as the past international director. But good evening, everybody, once again, ladies and gentlemen. I have a confession to make. When Balaji came to me and said, I know you, and in my head, it went, oh no, not again. I know you from 16, 17 years ago. I was a member of CMS. And I breathed a sigh of relief and I said, thank God, he doesn't know me. I said, I wasn't in the country 16, 17 years ago. And he said, let me do the math. And he counted, and it was 12 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, right? You see, for the 5 people of Mecon who know me, and I can count who you are, I used to be quite regular at the Mecon installations and milestone meetings. And then one day, I stopped coming to Mecon because an incident had happened. I'd come for a milestone meeting, there was cake, I was eating cake, I was having fun, speaking to all my friends in Mecon, until this young girl came and told me, I know you. You came, and I'm telling this for the very first time, please forget it once you leave this room, you came for my 1-year-old birthday. It's like, no, that's not me. I have no idea who you are. I'm not that old. She's like, no, I know you. I have a photo to prove it is you. I don't remember. And you have to be 18 to join Toastmasters. Turns out, I just graduated from college and I had taken a short job stint for 4 or 5 months before I went for higher studies at a pharmaceutical company. And her father was a production supervisor of that company. And yes, I did go for that birthday. And yes, she promptly sent me a photo of that event. For those who don't know, her name is Anusha Ranganath. You would remember you were all present for her wedding also. I avoided the wedding. I avoided meeting my former colleague. But I also avoided coming to Mecon because I was not sure who'll say, I know you. I met you when I was pregnant with my now college-going kid. I don't want to hear things like that. So if you know me, just come and say, hi Gauri. Don't start with, I know you. It's a little bit scary for me going in. But here's another story, long time ago. Well, not so long ago, actually this morning at 10:08 a.m. I was at a session for District 92. It was a session on mentoring. We had sessions on leadership mentoring, which I was taking, on club mentoring and speech mentoring. And the MC for the day, the Toastmaster of the day, was setting the context of mentoring and was speaking about how he got into Toastmasters because his mentor motivated him, pushed him forward to take part in speech contests, pushed him forward to become an area director, and then he spoke about his mentor. And this is a name that a lot of Meconians might remember. He said, my mentor is Rajshekhar Mamidana. For those who don't know, former Meconian. And I remember how Rajshekhar got his first steps here in Mecon. he couldn't speak a word of English. He struggled, but he was a guy with a lot of humor and a lot of potential, and the mentoring out here helped him get that potential, right? Achieve that potential. Today he's one of the top stand-up comics in our country, and he's mentoring other people to take on the journey in Toastmasters and leadership. The first time I heard Nagaraja Rao was at my club, which was Medley Speaker Society. He had come for our installation, and he was giving a speech on mentoring. And I thought at that point of time, he spoke about his mentor, K Prabhakara, who I thought was very, very scary. Because he described K Prabhakara as this sugarcane juice machine. Okay? Sorry, I have to tell the story. He said, you know how the vendor or the juice maker puts that sugarcane through that press, the machine, and it squeezes out all the juice, and then it's not enough, and you think there's not enough juice coming out, and there's nothing left in it, and then he puts it again, and he puts it again. That's exactly how K Prabhakara was to him. He squeezed out every bit of juice from Nagaraja Rao to make him the speaker and the man he is today. Thank you, Mr. K Prabhakara. Although I was scared of K Prabhakara, I also happened to meet the dating couple K Prabhakara and U Bhat, who were part of the humorous delegates for our conference at that point of time. There was so much fun in the bus rides to Mysore. We were having our conference in Mysore. And as I was going through the registration list, I saw K Prabhakara's full name, and it said Arkal Good. And I called him up and I said, I know this sounds strange, but we are probably related. And it turns out he told me exactly how we are related. So not only did I get friends here, I also found family out here who turns out to be a very scary mentor. I also found people whom I wished happy birthday when they were 1 year old. And someone who now claims that I knew him 12 years ago. But this is a club that has mentored not just me, but many other Toastmasters like Rajshekhar, who in their stead have paid it forward and mentored others. I wish you a very, very happy Silver Jubilee, and I hope you continue your legacy of mentoring people and leaders of tomorrow. Thank you very much.
I request Gauri, Sheshadri to kindly stay back and also felicitate the long-standing members of our club. I also would like to invite our club mentor, distinguished Toastmaster Ramlal. There are 4 members of our club who have constantly supported us throughout the years, from the starting till today. And the first person who supported us, and also the second president of our club, please welcome him with a huge round of applause, DTM U Bhat. Next, the third president of our club, who's been with us and also still supports and also helps people become a distinguished Toastmaster today. Please welcome DTM K Prabhakara with a huge round of applause.
They all deserve a bigger round of applause.
And next, can we have our very own Toastmaster and also a Roastmaster, past international director, distinguished Toastmaster Nagaraja Rao. And finally, the long-standing member of our club, Toastmaster Sandeep, who's been a treasurer for almost 10 years, and I'm coming for that position. Let's keep the applause going on. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
So come close. Okay, all the way to come. Smile. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Gauri, Sheshadri, and also distinguished Toastmaster Ramlal for felicitating our long-standing members who have supported us over the years of Mecon Communication Club.
So we have today the most important man of the district at the current moment, that is the district director, DTM Arjun Sundarraj. So please give him a huge round of applause and welcome him on stage.
Good evening, everyone. Mecon brings me a lot of wonderful memories. You know, my very first Toastmasters meeting was a joint meeting with of Mecon with Affluence Toastmasters, my home club there back then. And the smart man sitting with a beautiful ponytail, Ajay Chitranjan, was the MC that day. Can anyone guess what was the theme of that particular meeting?
Like water.
No, it was not Be Like Water.
That's not the only thing I've said in life.
It's very simple. Typical Ajay, mint with the hole. That was the theme of that particular meeting, and that's exactly how my Toastmasters journey started. And if you look at it, we have people like AKP sir, Nagaraj sir, U Bhat sir, all these people who have been the guiding light from whom I have learned. And standing over here in front of them and giving this small little address gives me goosebumps. It's such a beautiful moment for me because these are the people that have guided me to grow as a communicator and as a leader. One of the simplest, I would say, experiences that comes to my mind right now that happened very recently when I was coming back from the international convention was where I took this flight from London Heathrow to Bangalore. It's a 10-hour flight, and for someone who knows me well, I cannot sit idle for 10 hours. It's impossible. So I usually got up from my seat, was taking a walk in the aisles, and then standing next to the restroom there, chatting with people, looking at how people are in simple terms. So I was looking at this particular little kid, about 3 to 4 years. She was running around happily from this end to the other end of the aisle, and her father couldn't control her. So he gave up on her, he stood there next to me, and then we were just catching up on some like basic icebreakers, that's about it. And then she stops near her father, looks at me, and then she says, "What do you like?" She has a simple sticker, a sheet of stickers in her hand, and she asks, "What do you like among these?" I see this beautiful, cute little bee sticker and then said, I want this. Then she gives it to me and then immediately I stuck it on the back of my phone. This simple act of spreading happiness is all she was concerned about. She did not know the person who she was talking with. She did not care about what the person felt, but spread happiness. In the last 25 years, ladies and gentlemen, we are spreading happiness. Meconians are spreading happiness. One example is me. If I am able to stand here, it's because of the joy that Meconians, the founding members of this club, the leaders of this particular club, were able to spread that joy. My urge to you today, as a fellow member, is to spread happiness. The club is known for that. We have people like Balaji who has achieved so many laurels in the contests, in contests. We have people like Nagaraja Rao who have achieved in leadership. AKP sir, whose sessions we always look forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, one step is all it takes. When we get out of that particular door and we are able to spread that little joy, how we are able to make a difference to the other members, you never know. But only over time we'll be able to understand that. So at this point in time, I want to also spread some happiness, spread some joy to the committee over here on this occasion of the 25th anniversary. So may I invite the president of the club, Toastmaster Balaji, on stage, please. So I recently found out that the club officers did not have their pins with them, and this was the perfect occasion for me to give this particular set of club officer pin set for all the club officers, for all the efforts that they have put into for the success of the club. I mean, the success of the club shows up very clearly in the dashboard, but how well we are able to succeed, it shows up the way the members are able to grow as individuals, not just as speakers, not just as leaders as such, but as individuals. So from Toastmasters International, from District 121, I'd like to present this club officer pin set to the president and the entire committee here. Balaji, this one. Thank you so much. So this is a rolling pin right after this committee. Whoever is going to take up the next committee roles, be ready. You're getting the pin and pins as well. Thank you so much.
I'm going to lose it after 3 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, one last thing before I hand it over back to the MCs. Toastmasters International is a platform that can change lives of individuals. You have seen people grow. Gauri gave an example of Rajshekar Mavidana. I love the way he speaks today, and if he has grown today, it's one of the biggest credit goes to Toastmasters International and the club that he came from. Every single person sitting in this particular hall is in that particular process itself. How we make use of the process is completely in our hands. The opportunity available, the aspects that we can make use of, everything is common for everybody, every single member that we have. Everyone goes through the same icebreaker speech, everyone goes through the same set of evaluations, or even the milestone speeches, or be it the DTM speech also, as a matter of fact. But how we make use of it is what makes the difference. So I urge you to make use of it in the way you wish to grow, as how Nagaraja Rao once told me, to grow as an individual and not just as a speaker or a leader per se, but how well these opportunities can help you grow as a member of the community, as a citizen of this particular country, as a particular family, a person in your family as such. So ladies and gentlemen, let's make use of that opportunity to change our lives and make sure that we are able to take that one little step ahead to be a better person, a better individual. Congratulations Meconians on the 25th anniversary, and it is definitely a wonderful pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, and back to the MCs.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster, District Director, Toastmaster Arjun Sundarraj. I would like to now invite Distinguished Toastmaster Gauri Sheshadri to kindly accept a token of appreciation. Toastmaster Balaji. Can we have a huge round of applause, please?
We learned pretty quickly.
Round of applause.
Let the lady take the center.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Arjun Sundarraj and Distinguished Toastmaster Gauri Sheshadri. The table topic session is something Toastmasters at Mecon Communication Club extremely look forward to. We have AKP speak on sci-fi topics and U Bhat for his change illa response. Veerabhadrappa for his tapping on the lectern, and Jyoti for just an opportunity to speak, and Shushrut for the recipe of the drumstick sambar. And a lot more. Those 2 minutes is something we all look for, a butterfly in our belly moment. So Sindhu, why don't you call the table topic master for today?
Yesterday, when I asked the table topic master for a short introduction or a brief introduction, he told me he scrolled through the WhatsApp, but yet he couldn't find one introduction for himself. So I was thinking, like, me being me, let's just quickly search for Ajay on the Google and think what exactly can I give an introduction for Ajay. And then I found this particular says that, it tells, according to the meaning from Sanskrit, it means it's unconquered, it's invincible, it's unsurpassed. And then he joined our Mecon Communication Club in 2009, served as a president in 2012, and he won International Speech Contest and represented District 92 in the World Championship of Public Speaking. He has been invincible since the time he has joined Mecon. And Mecon helped him find his voice, his career, his friends, and hopefully his life partner sometime soon. So Sai, can you guess who that is?
Yes.
Please welcome the veg biryani of Mecon, the table topic master, Ajay, with a huge round of applause.
Well, no complaints with the introduction, honestly. You guys did a great job. A round of applause for the MCs, please. Wow, what an occasion. The year was 1998, right? Let's take a walk down the memory lane. We're talking about Bahubali and RRR and Kantara. The year 1998 was when a milestone movie was released. Any guesses? It brought families together and it made families awkward. Titanic was released. The year was 1998 when George Clooney was declared the sexiest man alive. It took a good 25 years for a certain middle-aged Indian man to take that title. Obviously, I'm talking about Toastmaster Raja. Harry Styles, the flavor of the season in the year 1998, was 4 years old. He was probably singing "Hit Me Baby One More Time" because Britney Spears was ruling the charts. The year was 1998 when K.R. Narayanan was the president of this country and the Prime Minister was Atal Bihari Vajpayee. I used Google to research a lot of data, and it was in the year 1998 that Google itself was registered. Spare a thought, all the people here using ChatGPT to write your speeches, think about the times when Google was not available. Life was certainly different. The year was 1998 when France famously defeated Brazil in the World Cup. The year was 1998 when Toastmaster Ujjwal was not even born. Heck, his parents had also not met each other. And the year was 1998 when against the orders of the big brother United States of America, Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee did a daring move and gave the country a go-ahead to conduct nuclear tests in Pokhran, thus making India a nuclear weapon, a nuclear capable country. And it's just poetic license that justice that 25 years later, we have Prime Minister Narendra Modi successfully leading a campaign to put India on the moon. 25 years, a lot has changed. But what hasn't is 25 years, week after week, a group of people have been meeting in the same place, trying and excelling in this quaint art of communication. And that has led us to this milestone. Can we have a round of applause for all of us? Table topics, one of my most favorite forms of communication. It puts us on the feet, makes us think puts us on the feet. It does, right? If you're sitting, you get on your feet to come here and speak, but makes you think on your feet. So here I have very simple topics. I would ask people to come here and address the gathering, and also stay back right after you speak, because we might have, depending on whom I'm calling, you might have some felicitation. Because I had to make sure I didn't say facilitation, because I kept saying that. So please address the gathering and stay back, because we have a little bit of felicitation to be conducted. I want to, 25 years of excellence, Balaji said. 25 years of excellence. I want to hear from this person. And trust me, there is no other person in this room to speak about excellence. He's almost an authority in the word excellence. And the very first words I heard in Mecon was this person behind the lectern, with words dripping with enthusiasm, when he said, enthusiasm is what moves this audience. And literally an excellent authority figure in excellence. How do we achieve excellence? Can we have DTM Ramla please share?
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests, excellence is not a destination, it's a journey. And it happens through communication. The very first words that I read about communication was from Dale Carnegie. Words that inspired me to getting into speaking. I don't think anyone ever in all my life has inspired me as much as Dale Carnegie has done. He's a person whom I've never met, nor have I seen, nor have I heard. I just read. The words that inspired me still keep me going in the art of communication, and they go this way. The ability to speak is a shortcut to distinction. It puts a person in the limelight and raises him or her head and shoulders above the crowd. And a person who can speak acceptably is usually given credit for this ability out of all proportions to what he or she really possesses. And Dale Carnegie claims that any man can talk when he gets mad. He says that if you hit the most ignorant man in town on the jaw and knock him down, he'll get on his feet and speak with an eloquence, heat and emphasis that would have rivaled the greatest orator of any century. And if that is doubted by you, I suggest that after this session, as you go out, find the most ignorant person on the street, give him or her one punch, and look at the expletives that flow out of his or her mouth. You and I, educated people, are no match. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the power of speaking is the ultimate in life. I have found that people who speak are making more money. They are not working. People claim to be working harder, but I find that the classiest people are the people who are only communicating. They are not doing any work at all. So if you want to really make money, if you want to really be rich, become an expert in this art of communication, right? Because it is said that if all my powers are taken away from me by some inscrutable providence, listen to this, words which have so much impact in them. If all my powers were taken away from me by some inscrutable providence, and if I had the choice of keeping but one, I would unhesitatingly ask to keep the power of speaking, for through it, I would quickly recover all the rest. Mr. Table Talks.
Request President Toastmaster Balaji to
By the way, he is the first DTM of India.
2001.
2001. The year several of our Toastmasters were almost being born. Was not yet complete. But did I do justice when I said this person is an authority figure to speak about excellence?
Yes.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for gracing this occasion. And having done that for 25 years, please give DTM Ramlal a huge round of applause.
Sorry, by the way, he is a member since 1991, Toastmaster.
30 years of Toastmasters in India, 30 years member.
He has been a member since 1991.
Wow. 30 years a Toastmaster. Wow.
That's the power of TV.
I barely started speaking. And you were making speeches then, sir. Impeccable. Moving on. A few fond memories and your experience of how Mecon Communication Club has contributed to the Toastmasters movement in India. Let's have this lady who has an impeccable skill to make friendships across the district, across the country, across the world, I'm pretty sure, and has a natural warmth that she exudes everywhere she goes. Please put your hands together for the past district director, Vanitha Rangarajan.
All right, I am actually extremely nervous. Nervous because that sugarcane juice machine that we heard just a while ago, I have my sugarcane juice machine, I have her sugarcane juice machine, and I have his sugarcane juice machine, and so I am just super nervous being here. Congratulations on 25 years of Mecon. We could not have done it at Toastmasters without Mecon. We've heard a lot about the legends that supported our Toastmaster movement. We've heard names, and no matter how many times we repeat those names, it's never going to be enough for the contributions that they have made. Starting with distinguished Toastmasters, all U Bhat, K Prabhakara, Nagaraja Rao sir, Dr. Vijay. I'm going to go back and check my memory and see who else am I missing. There are also been this one unique thing that we have seen at the club. While these are the legends that started it and got a lot started, we have seen this ongoing. We have constantly seen members stepping up, serving the district. So I'm quickly going to call out the other names that I am more familiar with, starting with the Subbus, the Udankas, the Sindhus, the Balajis, the Supreet, if he is here, I'm still looking out. constantly members stepping out, representing Mecon and changing the way that we look at Toastmasters. Now it's not possible if you don't do this with a great balance. And the balance is what I wanted to talk about. I remember the time when I was program quality director and when I asked Nagaraja Rao, if I were to take a session on mentoring for the entire district, whom would you recommend? He said AKP. And so I called Prabhakara sir and I asked him, would you be able to take a session, and we're getting the logistics right, and you won't believe the kind of effort or the prep work that he put in to just get that entire meeting organized. And he asked all relevant questions. I am from a traditional path, but I want to do justice to the Pathways program, so tell me more about the Pathways mentoring program, and so on and so forth, and he had the presentation done right. And I was wondering, how many times do I actually call the club president and I ask them, what is your problem to solve for the club before I come into the club and speak to the members? So these are few things that I think that only Mecon can do it. The legends have set so many things straight and right for us that is very easy for us to simply emulate. Just copy paste will do the trick because this is a working model. I do have a couple of names that I just remembered. Krishnamurti sir, Shushma, these are again, like the names are endless. I'm pretty sure when I sit down, I'll be thinking, oh, there were 4 more names that I missed out, and that's the beauty of Mecon. I want to just say one thing. We could do Toastmasters somewhere, but I don't think it'll ever be a part without Mecon Toastmasters. So congratulations on 25, distinguished Toastmasters all. It's a big honor to be here, but a bigger honor to be a part of your celebration. 25 is just a number, let's do 50. Back to you.
Request President Balaji to do the honors. Hereby we have officially replaced the word mentor by sugarcane machine. Going forward, all of us can refer to our mentors as sugarcane machines. It's actually, if you think about it, an apt analogy. Analogy, is that the word? While you think about it, I would like to hear from this person and share a few of valuable lessons he has learned in his Toastmaster journey here. Please put a huge round of applause for Area B4 Director, Toastmaster Vijay.
Good evening. Good evening, all Meconians. Congratulations for your 25th anniversary year. What I learned in Toastmasters, I put it in this way. I joined Toastmaster for learning communication, to communicate better. I joined during the COVID period. COVID period, it was online and could not be able to learn much. Post-COVID, when the world opened up, I could understand that, oh my God, so many things available in this Toastmaster fraternity. Coming to communication, prepared speeches, table topic, and evaluation. There are so many things I learned. And the second one is about leadership. Here there are various opportunities available to refine your leadership skills. Working for your club and go beyond the club, and definitely you can reach even international. We have examples here. And the third one I learned, the service and mentoring. Oh my God, whatever help, clarification, questions I ask, I get answers immediately from any subject, any range of questions. That is the third thing I learned in Toastmaster. people immediately come forward and help us. And the fourth one is camaraderie, networking. You can get any expertise in Toastmasters. I joined for communication, but I got all these definitely more than communication. I become better person in this fraternity, better communicator, better leader. It is because of that, in and out of, coming in, coming out, Toastmasters. Back to
I know we've set a rhythm, so. I would just like to hear a few of your fond memories with Mecon Communication Club, the first person you interacted with, the first person who impacted you, and the first sugarcane machine you met here at Mecon Communication Club. Can we have DTM, past club growth director, Subramanyan, please at this time.
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters from Mecon. I'm very proud to be a Meconian since last 5 years. The first ever day I came to Mecon was on the installation day, and I still remember like it happened yesterday. I came from my office finishing my daily work, and when I entered Mecon office, I met DTM's K Prabhakara and U Bhat. I think they were not aware that I was the installation officer, and when they were aware that I was the installation officer, the first thing they observed is I was not wearing a tie. And immediately DTM U Bhat, he removed his tie and he made me wear his tie, because one thing I remember from him is that it's a matter of prestige that on the day of installation we should be we should wear professional attire. And I continued my visits to Mecon Communication Club for 1 more year, and then after 6 months, it gave me a little bit of courage to attempt my first ever humorous speech, which was evaluated by DTM K Prabhakara. And I still remember that. I think that I can take a lot of confidence in. If people tell me that I have a little bit humor in me, I think DTM K Prabhakara's evaluation gave me that courage. That my strong point is humor with poker face. I still remember that. And that made me join Mecon Communication Club as a member 6 months later. And my journey continues as a member in Mecon with a lot of learning and of course a lot of churning through sugarcane machine. Of course, thanks to a few evaluations by DTM K Prabhakara. So there goes about my experience in Mecon Communication. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Subramanyan. Have you all been waiting to hear from our club members?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Apparently not. That's not enough enthusiasm.
Yes.
Definitely.
Sindhu has been waiting. What about our people at the backbenchers? Can you hear me? Yes. Are you all waiting to hear from some of our members? Yes. Thank you, tough audience. 25 years of Mecon Communication Club, 25 years of marriage. What has brought you more joy? DTM Amitabha Saharoy.
Arithmetic. How many years I've spent in my marriage and how many years I've spent at Mecon. But yeah, some of the most joyous experiences that I have had is certainly in Mecon Communication Club. I've been through all that. I've been through DTM K Prabhakara's sugarcane grinding machines. I'm a standing product. You can put me through a quality test and I'll come out with the sweetest juice possible. Okay, but I think it has been wonderful and really good to be part of this occasion. Mecon has grown up and I have also grown up along with Mecon, both as a speaker, as an individual, as a mentor, as a mentee, as a professional. And it has given me a lot of, what should I say, a lot of things that I have learned and taken it along with me. And I do that every day in my profession. It involves, I'm a product manager, so selling my product to CXOs is part of my daily job. I do that almost 3 times a week. And people around me wonder, what is this guy, what's his secret weapon? How come he's able to make so many deals? And I think Mecon Communication Club is a big part of why I'm able to do that, perhaps a little better than some of the people around me. That apart, I think the camaraderie aspect, I think a lot of you have been with the club for so long. It's so nice to, again, connect with so many of you in an occasion like this. I think that's always a wonderful feeling. It's always nice to be part of this family. It's more like a family. It's more like a professional and a personal family. So I really thank all of you for being part of this journey and helping me along, mentoring me, being so helpful all along. So I think wonderful. I think I wish all of you all the best. I wish Mecon all the best, and I hope all of you can carry fond memories with this club, learning from this club, and I wish Mecon Silver Jubilee and many more beyond that.
This topic is for, it's like a cheat code for all members who will be future presidents. Please share with us the cheat codes of running a successful term. Toastmaster Lalana.
Actually, I was not expecting this. And that's the way I actually became president also. So Ajay has put me in a spot. And all of you are talking about sugarcane milling machine. He also has another quality. He can convince you by telling you so many things. So actually that term, when Mecon needed a president for the club, and the person who was supposed to take up backed out in the last minute. So like somebody called me, Udanka called me, Snehal called me, and I told them because I was busy in Rotary and in another organization I'm a part of, and I had taken up other responsibilities. So I told them I may not be able to give so much time. Then AKP sir said, it's only for 6 months this term. You only have to come once a week, Mondays. So nothing much will be there. All these youngsters, they will manage. Of course, they did do that. The only thing is be ready with your speeches every Monday according to the themes. And I did miss a couple of meetings due to my other engagements. But it was a successful term and we were able to meet all our goals thanks to the excellent committee
I had all the VP membership secretaries, adjutants, everybody. So actually, Mecon is a well-oiled machine, I should say. Like anybody who takes up presidentship, all the systems are in place here. So you can easily manage. So whoever is aspiring to become president, no worries. The systems are in place and the pillars of Mecon are there to guide you. So it was a cakewalk for me, I should say. And I'm really glad I took it up, though I was apprehensive to take it up because of my other engagements. And then, as I mentioned earlier also, like opportunity strikes only once, and I did take it up, and I'm very happy I did it. Thanks to all the members of Mecon who supported me as well, and we were able to complete and achieve all our goals. Thank you.
The unexpected president, Toastmaster Lalana Murthy. Please give a round of applause.
Thank you, sir.
Where is that? I should speak in this.
No.
Give it to the speaker. We have one member who's very consistent. Let's hear the secrets of consistency through this Toastmaster. Tall, handsome, charming as ever, Toastmaster Prashant. The secrets of consistency.
Shout. The thing is, an article I was going through, it always said, what is the difference between an average guy and a genius? So, it so happens it's not their level of IQ or kind of grasping power or whatever. It is about doing things repeatedly, showing up for the whatever the session or the practice. So that's the key. That's what makes a difference between an average and a genius. So it's about they say it's not about giving an excuse or whatever, but to be there repeatedly. So that's what it is, and that's what I've been practicing and trying to show up meeting after meeting and continue my learning journey. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We are coming to the last couple of topics. Let's get opinions on this. Legacy. Is it empowering or is it a burden? Legacy. Is it empowering or is it a burden? Toastmaster, past president, Ankita Kandelwal. It's not in these flashy milestone meetings that we find the fundamentals of excellence. It's in showing up week after week. It's in showing up when you don't feel like it. It's in showing up and pushing yourself beyond that zone of comfort. And that's where lies excellence. And any fans of the hit comedy series The Office here? All the under 30s? But trust me, it's a beautiful show that I would recommend for everyone. There's so much of depth in that show. And after 9 seasons. Pam, who's a pivotal character in the show, she says something so deep and profound. She says, if you notice, there is beauty in ordinary things. And there is beauty in every meeting. And there is beauty in every speech. And there is beauty in every member. If we can show up for 25 years, we can show up for 25 more. And there is beauty in showing up. See you at the 50th year milestone. Thank you so much. Back to the
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajay, for finding a balance between facilitation and felicitation. And also for that wonderful table topic session, and as impromptu as the speaker's responses were, I'm sure there's been a lot of efforts that went behind this.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a breather. We are going to take a short break to recharge our mental engines. Feel free to stretch your legs, grab a snack, or simply relax. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
No snack, no relax. It's a 5 minutes break.
It's a 5 minutes break.
We have a fantastic session coming up after this. This is a clear-cut recess break. And this is coming from a principal, so we better be back on time.
So we better be back on time. Just we'll come back again. Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope your break was as refreshing as mine. Let's keep the enthusiasm going on. Remember, the more you cheer, the more you participate, and the more you engage, the more exciting the event will be. So let's make some noise and jump right into the next session with all our energy. Can we have a huge round of applause before we move on to the next session? The world changes every day and gets complex each passing day. Sometimes it gets difficult even to take a step forward. And I look at people who are extremely successful in spite of the difficult times, and I wonder, how do they do it? To help us and guide us on how to be successful in uncertain times and challenging times, we have a very special keynote speaker. Sindhu, can you help me out with introducing the keynote speaker?
He is a distinguished individual, making significant contributions to various domains. As the co-founder and the CEO of Helixon, he has forged a path of innovation and advancement in the medtech sector. Collaborating closely with IIT Madras, his commitment to progress extends to his role as a member of the steering committee of HRD within the Department of Biotechnology under the Ministry of Science and Technology. Beyond his entrepreneurial endeavors, he is also the co-founder of Jokes Apart, showcasing his dynamic range of interests. His accomplishments are noteworthy, as he holds the distinction of being one of the India's youngest managing directors in the healthcare sector. His impact is not confined to national boundaries. He has been globally recognized with the prestigious Spark Award, a testament to his standing as one of the top 24 talents in the Allegan International. A distinguished speaker, he shares his insights and expertise across business forums, academic institutions, and social platforms. He is an exemplary figure who exemplifies dedication, innovation, and leadership across various domains. Please give it up for Mr. Sridhar Ranganathan with a huge round of applause.
Good evening. Good evening. The time when I was looking at the agenda, I was a little concerned because 8 o'clock was the time when the session should have got over, and that was when the break was. Whenever this happens in my organization, people don't come back. And especially somebody like me speaks, people will take that as an excuse to actually stay away from the meeting, and we need to probably have to conduct the meetings in the restrooms and some areas nearby in the foyer area as such. I wanted to start with something where I have to pay my gratitude to somebody here. It was in May 2006 in Sri Lanka, where we had 650 plus audience, 650 to 700 words of minimum vocabulary, personal life experience, simple speech structure, which was mentored well at that time by my mentor. And then when I went up on stage, I was nervous, I had dry mouth. I actually finished the speech in less than 4 minutes, where I had to get disqualified because of that. And that day, experientially understood public speaking is the world's greatest fear. I'm sure you would have heard about it also, right? Public speaking is the greatest fear, even greater than the fear of death, they say, and it's been proven by research, people say. I experientially understood, and I was already a marketing manager heading a 500 plus team with 400 crore business, and I've been traveling all across, and I was wondering, why should I subject myself to something like this? Every time I go up on stage expecting something to happen, and why should I put myself into this kind of a thing? I even thought of quitting public speaking, but somehow mentors and the sugarcane missions that you keep talking about keep helping us to come back on again and again. Fast forward, in the year 2012, I had a good speech and I became the division champion. Ajay was there in that meeting along with Rajshekhar Mahadan as well. I won both the table topics and I won the ISE level, division level contest as well, and next day I traveled to Delhi. I had one call from this number 9880408003, and I remember this number even today. I missed it because it was unknown number at that time. I didn't take the call. Almost at 8 o'clock or so, I was about to board an Indigo flight from Delhi to Bangalore. This call came again. And then on the other side, this person says, congratulations, your speech, when I saw you winning at the division level, I want to help you at with the speech at the district level. Are you interested? I don't know who this person was. And then he introduced himself saying that I am so and so. Come and meet me. So I came down to Bangalore, and a couple of days I went and met him. The first thing, he looked at the speech and he said, Sridhar, this is not a speech at all. This is like an essay. And we had only 15 days between division and district at that time. If you are interested, I will work on this speech for you. And 15 days time, I don't know whether you will be able to really change the whole thing, but it's up to you. If you want to take it, you take it, he said. We worked on it. And then in May 2012, almost similar in Sri Lanka, 650 plus audience, words, minimum vocabulary, personal life experience, simple speech structure, and mentored well. That day when I came down after my speech and when I touched the ground at that time, I realized public speaking is the world's greatest pleasure. It is in pursuit of it is probably in pursuit of this world's greatest pleasure. People want to do and attempt so many things, and in the process end up experiencing that world's greatest fear. And the person with 9880408003 who actually transformed and showed me that public speaking is the world's greatest pleasure is Nagaraja Rao. And that was the first time I placed at the ISC level at the district, and thereafter I had series of experiences every year. And he did not end up making changes in my speeches thereafter. He changed me as a speaker. And not just in contests, every time I go up on stage, whether it is in my organization or in Toastmasters or in any social forum or any other platform for that matter, he has given me certain mantras, he has given me certain rules which I even today instinctively remember. If somebody is asking me to come and mentor their speech, I ask them this question, what he asked me at that time. I asked them these phrases, what he asked me at that time, and that changed me completely as a speaker altogether. So I think it's my duty to pay respect, and this 9880408003, I have not saved this number because it's by heart, and when he calls, I dare not miss this call anymore, and that's how he called me a few days back and said, why don't you come to Mecon for the 25th year celebration, and that's all I'm here. Thank you for that. And I also have to say hello again to many people sitting here, and I know if I have to count each of those or call out each of those names, it really is going to take time. But I know so many people who have really been a benchmark for me in various aspects of communication and leadership in this fraternity. Every time I come to a Mecon meeting, or for that matter in any of the Bangalore clubs meeting, I feel it is like either a district council meeting or an international meeting. You know, we have one of the world champions per contestant, you have many past international directors, you have some pioneers in Toastmasters being there, and you have somebody who actually has contributed to the birth of so many clubs in this district and all that. So it is always a great feeling, and my Guru Matri always used to say, don't have people who look up to you, have people whom you look up to always, and that's the way you can grow. And every time I entered in this club and I have stepped into this club, I've always had this feeling that I look up to people and gain something out of that. So when I am presenting today, it is not that I am imparting knowledge, but I actually gain so much out of each and every interaction that happens here. And thank you very much for that. And I felt when people were saying that Mecon has people of steel, but I also feel you're not only people of steel. Mecon Communication Club is people who steal. Right? You steal the show wherever you go, whether it is public speaking. You have Ajay with water, he did something, Nagaraja Rao, international director, AKP sir, all those people, I think every time they do something, you will find they actually will steal the show. That's the greatness of this club. So I wanted to, before I move further, set some ground rules. Stop me and ask questions anytime you have any doubts. You can clarify your doubts, without carrying it forward. That's the projected reason. But the actual reason is I don't have too much to present, and hence I need those time stealers. And ground rule 2, whenever you have an idea or a suggestion, please let the group know about it. The projected reason is it will be useful for others and they can be benefited too. The actual reason you can show to the group that you also know something. And ground rule 3, sometimes I would be saying that we shall discuss separately after the meeting or during the break. The projected reason is it may not be relevant for the group and hence it may eat on others' time. The actual reason is I may not know the answers. So that's how it is. So if you look at the past, present and future, when somebody was mentioning here, it was a time when Google was not there. I think Ajay was saying that imagine the plight of people at that time where we had to prepare speeches. But I have a different contradictory view to that. At that time in 1998, if you looked at, there was only one TV channel which was there, right? The Doordarshan was there. You have one Chitraha, you have one Mahabharat and all this. There's only one channel. And in the evening also you have some hopeless program, and TV was not available in every house. I'm sure there was one Solidar, Dianara TV, where group people used to go there and watch TV, and you definitely needed some distraction, right? And that time you found a Toastmasters club, you want to speaking and there are people listening to you without shutting you down, right? And that is how you actually end up doing it. But today look at the scenario, 25 years later, you have Tata Sky has changed to Tata Play. Tata Play has 630 channels. And I don't know how many of us even know that there are so many channels, first of all, right? And forget about watching it. And there are 40 OTT platforms, and each of them have at least 50 movies and series and serials happening. There's so much available. And for people to take time out today away from those distractions and spend time on a Sunday evening for a program like this, I think is commendable. First of all, you need a big round of applause for that. And 25 years later, I don't know what will happen. So many a times people may be projecting without even a slide deck or a laptop, right? Because once my managing director was telling, I'll be happy when there is a situation where whatever I think in my mind can be put in the projector, and that we can have the meeting. And then my IT person was saying that what happens suddenly if somebody is asking who's that girl who's coming in between, right? You will never know what happens. I'm going to talk a few things which I have learned in my career, and I've experienced this in Toastmasters as well. I'm sure all of you would have seen this. Already 10 minutes over. I'm very good at it, right? Because if you don't know how time goes, then it's good. So the E factor, I'm sure this is called a normal distribution, right? The bell curve. How many of you know that? I'm not going to ask you questions on that because I also knew about it only when I became the MD and the HR director came and told me all this. So I strongly believe that in any entity, any organization, any fraternity, any society group, you will always find there are 3 categories of people who exist. There are a small percentage of people who belong to this category called the exit group. They will come in and they will quickly disappear from that place, and they will not sustain for a long period of time. There will be a vast majority of people who belong to this exist category, which is close to 80 to 85%, and that's where you call, even in an organization, the meeting expectations of people who are average and slightly above average performers. But The third category of people, which is again a small minority of 5 to 10%, the percentage could vary, but it's not more than 5 to 10% or so, which is called the excite category. And these are people who inspire the other categories of people exist and exit, and make sure that there are so many things that contribute to the growth of the fraternity, the growth of the organization, the growth of the industry. And it can be any walk of life you can take. If there are 10 bus conductors who come to acting, there will be one person who will actually flourish and become a superstar. There will be 6 or 7 of them would have gone away, and there will be some people who will still continue to keep doing that. But the beauty is, despite this being the vast majority, these people don't help you grow. It is only these people who belong to the excite category make you grow. And if I have to ask this question, saying that if I ask Toastmasters International, and maybe quickly for paucity of time, I have to ask Mecon Communication Club, in this graph, where do you see them? Why should you think so much?
Excite.
Excite, right? Naturally it is in the excite category. Why I am saying it is in the excite category? Because they have contributed so much to help the fraternity grow. There are so many other forums which were there, which are personality development, public speaking development, so many fraternities which are there, but I don't think there is any other fraternity which has took the time for 100 years to say that it can actually help you grow. And I'm sure the same case with Mecon as well. 25 years time. There are so many clubs which actually would have got initiated in the district, in the division, in the area as well. But not all clubs. There are few clubs which would have been in the exit category which vanished. There will be many clubs which will continue to be in the exist category, but there will be only a few clubs which will be in the excite category, and I'm so happy to see Mecon being part of it. But the key question that I always ask is, where do you see yourself? Right? It is great for the fraternity to be in the excite category and for the club to be in the excite category. Where do you see yourself? And that is the question that you need to keep asking every single day when you get up. And why should there be a reason for you to be not part of a club which actually is in the excite category, and a club which is part of a fraternity which is in the excite category, whereby you will actually be gaining so much. So I was telling DTM Nagaraja Rao today, these clubs are like escalators. You just stand on it, you will reach the top. And if you start walking, you will gain distance, and that's how it is. So if you can consider yourself to be in the excite category, you will enjoy it. Probably that is how people like DTM Prabhakara, DTM Nagaraja Rao, DTM U Bhat, or DTM Rao, all these people, every single day they bring that excitement factor in what they are contributing. Thereby they are able to produce excite clubs and excite fraternity. And the paradox I always ask, if I asked you saying that if in entirety of Toastmasters International, how many names do you remember whom you can pay credit to? Forget about the leaders who are sitting here. In the entirety of Toastmasters International world over the last 100 years, how many names do you remember whom you can give credit? One name all of us will remember, right? Ralph Smedley. Okay. And if you ask if everybody will remember many other names, I don't think so. So what has made it successful, despite people not knowing more than one name holistically for 100 years? What's the reason? Can anybody tell me?
The process.
Process, right?
The system.
The system, the methods, the protocols, everything. There are so many things which actually work in favor that has made the fraternity so successful, where you cannot actually give credit. I'm saying that there are many people who can take credit, but we don't remember there is more than one individual who actually contributed to this and then made this so successful. Even after 100 years it is going to work. But that's not the beauty. So if you really look at it, there are many companies which probably would be in this, there are many fraternities would be in this categories, right? What makes it? If there is the same system that is there, same process which is there, same protocols which are there, why is that there are a few people who basically get into this category? Why is there some fraternity, some companies, some clubs get into that category? Can you tell me? The key is people. Whatever is said and done, you may have the process, you may have the protocols, you may have the systems, everything. it may not be one individual who actually started it, but there are so many people who are part of the journey throughout the ExCom today for this matter in Mecon, and the district trio and the district officers who are there, they contribute significantly. And why is that a club which actually can flourish, who can be in the Excite category, to not end up being in the Excite category? It's again because of people. And that's the paradox which is there. While there is one person who created and the system actually takes over, but it is people who take that system and move forward, that's what makes a huge difference. And what is the real strength, and how do you bring the strength out? Because there are different types of people who are there. Because every club, every fraternity, every organization has different types of people. You have people who were at Toastmasters even before you were born, correct? And to people who actually are there who were just 20 years or so or 18 years or so. How can you get this marriage happen? And there are always differences, right? For example, in my home, if you take, I'm a very detailed person. In fact, once, many years back, I remember when the stabilizer of the TV conked off, I went around 4 or 5 shops looking for a good quotation for stabilizer. When I reached home, a brand new TV was getting delivered. I asked my wife saying that, what's happening? She said, Sridhar, I called up the stabilizer shop fellow. He said there is 1,000 rupees discount on TV. I asked him to deliver. I said, like a fool, I was going around all around and you are asking them to deliver a TV. You should have waited. She said, yeah, if I have to wait, I have to wait for 1 month, 2 months, you will take all the details and finally you will get the you will get it like the camera you did for my birthday. You got it 3 days after my birthday was over. And I said, 3 days later also you look the same. No, what's the problem? I was waiting because the model was changing. Then she said, Sridhar, you are an older model, you should change. And similarly, I had a boss called Raghu who used to be so spontaneous. I will prepare a 70-page document sitting the whole day and as an attachment and send it to him. Even before the attachment would get downloaded, he would have sent a reply to me. And when I go and ask him, he'll say, no, I go by my gut, Sridhar. I can't keep sitting on it like the way you are sitting on it. And when I tried changing, I thought, okay, why should I always be called as somebody who's dragging? I also wanted to be called as somebody who's spontaneous and all that. But I couldn't sleep the whole night. Even small decision that I wanted to take, I felt somebody will come and arrest me, signing a purchase order. So I realized my strength is in what I have to be. Raghu's strength lies in what he has. Bindu's strength lies in what she has. And that is probably a combination which will work very well. Maybe in her mind she knows that I will go into details and that's why she is being the spontaneous person she is. And I know that she will be able to take decisions so that it doesn't get delayed. So the combination is extremely important. So that's when I feel that it is not in competing, but in complementing. And of course complementing as well as to how you can praise each other in what we are doing, which Toastmasters is known for. Each other, the real strength lies. So when the club has reached 25 years now, when it can contribute so much, there are so many people who have actually who have reached international, who have taken international fame, I think it can really contribute to many more numbers, many more people. Why should this club not have many more international directors, many more international champions? Every single person sitting here can actually contribute to yourself and to others, not competing, because the systems, what was there at that particular point of time, some of them may not be same, because that time there was only one channel. Today you have 630 channels in one provider. But at the same time, this also has some merit. So how do you bring together, how do you combine the whole thing together to see you give space for everybody to work together and make it very successful is what is going to make a huge difference. So I thought if I have to bring that celebrating the theme conquest, I looked at the meaning for conquest. I said in the context of Toastmasters, it's conquering communication and leadership excellence. Ajay spoke about it and many people spoke about excellence and how do you conquer. At the same time, the quest that each one of us should have is continuous search for excellence in leadership and communication. If you can make this marry, if each and every single individual can actually bring that quest. So celebrating the Mecon quest, each one of you, for seeking excellence in communication and leadership can celebrate the conquest that the theme can be conquest of each one of you. Thank you very much, and lastly, thank you so much for your wonderful contribution and patient listening. Projected reason is I enjoyed your participation. I really enjoyed your participation.
distinguished Toastmaster Sridhar for that beautiful presentation on conquering and how to be successful and also in uncertain times, and also telling us how our fear of public speaking is actually not a fear but a greatest pleasure. I would like to now invite President Balaji to kindly felicitate Sridhar. Can we have a huge round of applause, please?
This felicitation and facilitation, both everything. Thank you.
It's now time to get your thinking caps on and flex your mental muscles. We've got an exciting quizzing session coming up that will inject the room with curiosity, friendly competition, and plenty of love. Speaking of quizzes, it's been quite difficult to understand the girl standing next to me. It's a quiz session every single day. So prepare to be dazzled by your own brilliance and be ready to show off that intelligence and have a great time doing it. Get comfortable, get ready to put on a smile on your face and spark in your eyes. And let's make this session to remember. So Sindhu, who's the quiz master for today?
He says he is the ultimate firecracker in the Mecon Communication Club. His speeches are all...
DTM Gauri was still here. I would have told her, honestly, I know you. Because I attended, when I was just starting off, I attended a We Speak Club meeting as a guest. Right? And Gauri was the general evaluator or the evaluator, I don't really remember. And that is the reason that I remember her correctly, right? So, even though I didn't join that club, I ended up joining this club, which is closer to home, and today has become my home. Right? We've all gathered here to celebrate my home club, your home club, everybody's home club, Mecon Communication Club. Right? And one fun way that we thought we could do this was with the help of a little quiz that I've very creatively named the 25 years of Mecon Communication Club quiz. So before I start, I'd like the members at the back to come to the front so that everybody can participate. You can just shift a little bit. Okay, so how we'll be doing this is that every group of Toastmasters sitting at a table, you are one team, right? So this is one team, and this is one team, this will be one team, that is one team, and we will have, we'll have, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams.
Ask for answers, no? Pass the check. Udanka sir.
Okay, are we all set? Yes, thank you. Thank you. So each table, each group of Toastmasters or people sitting at a table, you're a team, right? And how this is going to work is I want all of you to write down your answers. You're not going to say it out loud, right? So you have pens and papers in front of you, and each group will write out on only one paper, only one from each group.
So one note is that if your handwriting is bad, please feel free to share the pen to the next person. Handwriting is good so that it will be easy to read out.
Right. So let's get started. First thing I want to ask is I'd like to see a raise of hands of how many of you have seen the Hollywood movie Fight Club. Right? What is the first rule of Fight Club?
You do not speak about Fight Club.
You do not talk about Fight Club, right? Very similarly, the first rule of our quiz today is you do not shout out the answers, right? And the second rule of the quiz is that you do not shout out the answers. Okay, please write down the answers. A lot of effort has gone into this, and if you do, the experience will be ruined, right? So the third rule, 20 seconds to answer each question. Each question pops up on screen and I'll explain the question. And I said, your time starts now. 20 seconds, we jump on to the next question. We just have 10 questions, very simple, very fun questions that all of you can answer, right? The fourth rule is that Nakaratmaka Tantra Gadige Avakashavilla. No negative markings, right? And finally, Quizmaster's decision is final. No objections shall be entertained. So I hope that is clear. Are we all set for the quiz?
Yes.
Great. So let us start off with question number 1. Now all of you have solved algebra in school, college. What do you do in algebra? Solve for x, solve for y. That's exactly what you have to do in today's quiz. So question number 1, X is highly intelligent and is also known for having passed the mirror test. X has always had a very special relationship with Mecon Communication Club, having a very real impact on the lectern, the roll taker books, the ribbons, myriad ribbons and awards that the club has won throughout the years. Who or what is X? Your time starts now.
What is the mirror test?
If you can recognize your reflection in the mirror, you have passed the mirror test.
Looks like X is definitely not you because highly intelligent there.
Okay, time's up. Let us move on to question number 2. X is a Toastmaster who allegedly holds a record in the club. X reasserts their claim to the record every time X takes up a certain role. And on one particular occasion, X even mentioned that a certain Mr. Krishnamurthy had broken their record in a very short period of time. Who is X and what is the record? 2 parts of this question, half points for each answer. Who is X and what is their record? Your time starts now. Thank you, timer. Time's up. We'll move on to question number 3 for today. Question number 3 on screen. With reference to the past 25 years, one can almost say that Mecon Communication Club and X have become synonymous. X was, is and will be the best talking point, one of the best talking points about Mecon Communication Club. And as once revealed by DTM U Bhat, X might be one of the reasons that DTM Nagaraja Rao went on to become the international director of Toastmasters in 2015 or 17. Who or what is X? Your time begins now.
Extra point for having X.
Negative marks to Ajay's team.
Okay, Quizmaster is final. Quizmaster should look at this, he's shouting out answers.
Okay, thank you, timer. Time's up. We move on to question number 4. X is a Toastmaster who holds a certain streak at Mecon Communication Club, which currently stands at 8. In one particular meeting, the club's current president introduced X for the very first time, and X went on to crack a joke about their own name, which is exactly when this streak began. Who is X and what is the streak that they hold in the club? Half points for each part of the answer. Your time begins now. Some more negative marks to Ajay's team. Okay, time's up. We are moving on to the next question, and that is: X is a Toastmaster so dependable that X was awarded the title Dependable in the year 2012. On one occasion, X associated with a certain time of the day, arguably the time of the day when X could be seen in their element. Who is X and what time of the day did they associate with? Half points for each part of the answer. And I have a bonus question here. If you can tell me why this Toastmaster associated with that time of the day, you get one more point. Right, so 3 questions in total. Your time begins now. What time of the day did they associate with? Thank you, timer. Time's up. Moving on to the next question for today. Okay. X is a Toastmaster, a very simple question, known for a peculiar practice. Why? So X is the Toastmaster. Why is this peculiar practice? X speaks in a way that touches your heart. And if the speech wasn't enough, Y ensures that it reaches your heart. And at times, it has made Toastmasters look out of the window in anticipation of showers. Without Y, X's speeches seem to be incomplete.
Is this a quiz or maths question?
Some more negative points. Who is X and what is Y? Half points for each part. Your time starts now, yes. Thank you, timer. Your time's up. Moving on to question number 7. It would be the same mistake then, but today for me it is a different mistake. It looks different to me. For you, if it is a mistake again and again, that's your problem. It's wonderful to do mistakes, and I love doing mistakes, and I continue to do mistakes because these mistakes help me to do more mistakes. Very simple, who has been quoted here. Your time begins now.
Should be regular to the
Thank you, timer. Time's up. Let us move on to question number 8. With reference to the past 2 years, no other current member of the club holds a record as impressive as this one, winning best role taker 8 times, having taken up just one single particular role. The sheer number of roles that X has taken up is testament to the members' remarkable commitment to the club. Who is X and what is the role? Again, half points for X, half points for the role. Your time begins now. Thank you, timer. Time's up. Moving on to the penultimate question for today. Thank you so much, X. I usually have something to say every single time someone appreciates me, but today I am speechless. Thank you so much. I've been inspired by you. You keep telling me excellence is what you do repeatedly, and I've been doing that since the day I've been here, and I'll continue to do it. Who is X and who has been quoted here? So 2 parts to the question, half marks for each part. And there is a bonus question here. If you tell me when this was said, you get another full point. Right, so who is X, who has been quoted, and when was this said? Your time begins now. Okay, time's up. Thank you, timer. Moving on to the last question for today, my favorite question. X is a fast-growing, drought-resistant species native to the Indian subcontinent and used extensively in South and Southeast Asia. Ajay's team is disqualified. One Monday evening, taking everyone by surprise, X turned into the claim to fame. Now, do you all know what claim to fame is? Have you all heard the song Ishq Tera Tadpaave by Sukhbir? So that was his claim to fame. That is how he became famous. So this Toastmaster became famous because of X, who became a force to be reckoned with starting that day. So who is the Toastmaster and what was their claim to fame? That is X basically. Your time begins now. Thank you, timer. Time's up, and that was the last question that you had for today. Before you hand in your sheets to Raja and Gaurav here, please write down your team names. Maybe one of your names, one of the team members' names on top of the sheet so that we know whose it is. And please hand it in to Raja and Gaurav. So thank you everybody for participating so well, for cooperating. Give yourselves a round of applause. And may I know how it was? How did you find the quiz?
Very interesting. Intellectual.
Okay. Honest feedback. Yes.
Read MOMs. Read MOMs.
Okay, yes.
I say this in the best possible way. This is the greatest compliment you can ever get. You have managed to leave AKP speechless.
So thank you. Now, are you all curious to know the answers?
Yes. Secretary's revenge, I guess. You should have named the quiz the Secretary's revenge.
Secretary herself don't know the answers.
We shall now move on to the answers for today's quiz. Now you can shout out the answers. Anybody can say the answer.
Okay.
Right, so starting off with question number 1, mirror test, highly intelligent, real impact on the lectern, myriad awards, ribbons.
Shivaprasad.
Ajay.
Okay, nobody got this? Not the gavel?
MU Bhat.
No, not really. So nobody got this? Wow, okay. So the answer is something that you would not have expected. The answer is...
We wrote Shivaprasad to my clothes.
Out of syllabus.
What about people who join in serving?
So the pigeon is a highly intelligent bird that can recognize its own reflection in the mirror. So anybody who's taken up Sergeant at Arms knows the havoc these things have caused, especially in the cupboard, and you can see one on the AC right here. One is waiting.
You can move on, Shiva.
Move on. It's okay.
We understood what kind of a quiz this is.
Okay, second one. Allegedly holds a record in the club, reasserts their claim. One occasion mentioned that Mr. Krishnamurthy broke their record in a short time.
Move on. Answer.
Give me the answer if you know.
Samosa or something maybe. Samosa or kachori.
MU Bhat, sir.
MU Bhat, sir. Yes. If you attend our meetings, you know, he keeps reiterating maximum number of hours. And you can see he's in the middle of an hour right there. So yes, one of my favorite questions. Question number 3. Past 25 years, Mecon and X have become synonymous. X was and will be one of the best talking points.
AK Prabhakara.
Okay, AK Prabhakara.
AK3.
If the answer is anything but AK Prabhakara, the quiz is cancelled.
Okay. I originally intended this answer to be something else, but I realized AK Prabhakara can also be an answer, right? So, lemon tea or
Can you know the original answer?
lemon tea, yes.
This is the weirdest either or. It can be lemon tea.
End of the both of them give you a kick in the evening.
Specially told that you have to mentor your speeches.
Okay, question number 4. Certain streak at Mecon Communication Club stands at 8. One particular president introduced X for the first time. Pavani is not the answer.
Shivaprasad grammarian.
This is Shivaprasad. Having won best speaker every single time, right? So
Oh, flex.
a bit of a self-absorbed question, yes, and I'm probably jinxed my streak
Round
right
of
now.
applause for that.
Oh, this is an easy one. You should know the answer.
Sandeep.
Sandeep, yes, Sandeep is the answer, and
8 p.m.
8 p.m. connection.
That is his brand, huh? 8 p.m.
something very close to that, Ajay. The MOMs would be sent out every week at 7 a.m. in our club, and that is when Sandeep walked in and said, if Shiva is the 7 a.m. secretary, and I'm the 8 p.m. guy. Right? So 8 p.m. I leave it to your interpretation.
So the quiz has revolved around Shiva's life.
Shiva has made the quiz, obviously. So that is Sandeep becoming the president, by the way. Peculiar practice, this is an easy one. Reaches your heart. Yes, this is beer brother. Pounding the lectern, banging the lectern. Yes. This is again an easy one. Who said this? Jyoti. Yes. Give it up for Toastmasters Jyoti.
Giving a no count.
Okay. Past 2 years, no other. Wow. That was a brilliant crack. And what is the role?
Red flag.
Okay. Quote. Very easy one. If you don't know this, you're not part of Mecon Communication. Sai Snehal is the one who's speaking. And who is it talking about? DTM AK Prabhakara. And if you know when this was said.
Excellence award.
Okay, so DTM AK Prabhakara was giving Sai the Enthusiasm Award, and that is when he said this, right? Round of applause for Sai. Last question of the day, my favorite question. Easy question.
Udanka.
Sushrut and drumsticks. Yes.
You only didn't answer.
From today, Sushrut will be known as Nagaraja.
Okay, with that we have.
Shiv, can we go to Jyoti ma'am's photo? Can we this photo absolutely captures the exact feeling we have after the quiz.
Okay, so we have, thankfully, we don't have any ties. We have 3 clear winners, right? And when I announce your name, please just stand up wherever you are. And only the team that has won first place is going to have a small token of appreciation, right? So in 3rd place is team Sindhushree. In 2nd place is the record holder for maximum number of hours in the club, team DTM U Bhat.
Disqualified.
And the winners for today's quiz, any guesses?
Ajay is disqualified.
Ajay.
Okay.
Ajay is
No,
disqualified.
Ajay is
No, in my team there is also AKP. So how dare you disqualify?
So the team that has won the quiz is Team Udanka. TTM Udanka. Please do come here and accept it.
Hey, this is also cheat code. All the secretaries are MOM people. Yeah, exactly. No, cheating. Cheating.
Hey, MOM is like old one. This is old term.
Cheating.
For obvious reasons, don't ask the points. Everybody's good.
You're leaving one of your team members behind.
Subramanyan, please.
Yeah, Shivaprasad comes.
But hey, be inclusive.
Have a lawyer to defend that.
Congratulations. Let's keep the round of applause going.
Next one is for me.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. All look at the smile.
Whatever makes you feel happy. Right now I am happy. It's going home.
Did you all enjoy the quiz?
Yes.
Thank you. Great. And if you didn't get any of the answers, there's a very simple solution. Please join our club. The vice president membership is Toastmaster Shivaprasad. You can contact me anytime. And with that, I'd like to express my gratitude. Thank you for letting me do this. A member who's just been here for 1 year, 10 months. And the club's been around for 25 years. And I got the opportunity to do this. Thank you so much. And with that, I'll hand the charge back to the MCs for the day.
Go Shiva!
Thank you, Toastmaster Shivaprasad, for what I thought was a quiz session. Never thought pigeons and levity would make special appearances. But nevertheless, congratulations to the winning team. As the VPPR, I'm truly passionate about this role. It was my first step into the world of executive roles. What a journey it has been, from not knowing or having any idea of what Canva was, from now overseeing a YouTube channel. I can't imagine the journey I've come so far. Every quarter, Meconians come together to share their stories and experiences, crafting a brilliant newsletter and creating a collaborative and dynamic club. Let's not wait anymore. Sindhu, can you please welcome her on the stage?
According to her, life acts just like a boomerang. Whatever you put out there will come back to you. And guess what? She's not one for the fleeting moments. Instead, she believes in the infinite possibilities of life's journey. Her secret? Embracing the failures along the way and using them to move forward. It's like she's weaving the life's ups and downs into a beautiful mandala design, leading to a future full of sweet reminiscence. So give a big shout out to our VPPR of Mecon through our boomerangs of resilience, infinite summers, and a knack for turning failures into a stepping stone of success. Let's hear it for Toastmaster Pavani with a huge round of applause.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sindhu. I was not aware that a girl's phone call will be ignored until I became the VPPR. A prestigious evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Usually a VPPR gets to do only 2 newsletters in a term. But to my surprise this time, I was asked to do 3 newsletters. At that moment, I was so tensed, as I am right now. I was so tensed and I doubted whether it was possible for me to do it on time, will I be able to submit it on time or not? Because firstly, the whole idea of the newsletter was very new to me. And secondly, leadership was back then in my school days, and after that, this is my first leadership role again. So being a leader, handling a team was all so much new, a lot of tension. But today, I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude and excitement as we gather to celebrate a remarkable milestone, the 25th anniversary of our club. And I am here to release the special edition newsletter for the same. And this would not have been possible without my team members, without my editorial team. I literally called and troubled them every single time, every day, for every silliest of the doubt I had. Hey Shiva, can you please tell me if the border color is proper? Can you let me know if the font size is correct? Hey Gaurav, can you please let me know if all the articles are intact? I have checked it, but can you please recheck it again? I have troubled them a lot. Even during the last minute changes, they stood by my side, they encouraged me, and they helped me so much. Toastmaster Shiva and Toastmaster Gaurav, thank you so much for your relentless efforts, and so much you have helped me, for your dedication and for being a part of this incredible journey. I would also take this moment to extend my gratitude to DTM K Prabhakara, DTM Udanka, Toastmasters Snehal and Toastmaster Ujjwal for their unwavering support, guidance, encouragement and emotional support, which was much needed. As I delved into the process of compiling this newsletter, I was just awestruck by the wealth of memories that emerged. I got to learn so much more about my club, how was the club started, and what all efforts were put into making this club what it is today. And I personally feel I am very proud to be a Meconian today. Let us remember that this newsletter is not just a documentation of past 25 years, but a testimony of teamwork, progress, and evolution that shapes our club. Thank you for entrusting me with this privilege. So now it is time to release this special edition newsletter, and I would like to call a few dignitaries onto the stage to help me with that. Starting off with our club president, Toastmaster Balaji AS. DTM K Prabhakara. DTM DTM Nagaraja Rao. And DTM Arjun. With this, I hand over the charge back to the master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavani, for that beautiful newsletter. I'm guilty of missing your call right now. I joined the club at the 1009th meeting. I just missed it by 9 meetings, and hearing the experiences of 1,000 meeting made me want to be a part of another milestone meeting. And today, not just being a part, but also being the host is truly special and remarkable. And there's one person who has been a backbone to this event. Sindhu, do you know who the backbone is?
Definitely. At only 22 years old, he is the youngest individual in India to ever become a distinguished Toastmaster through Pathways. This incredible feat has earned him a place in the Indian Book of Records. He is also an impressive Triple Crown winner and has been instrumental in the establishment and mentoring of clubs. He has held a variety of leadership positions, including Club President, Area Director, Division Director, and is currently serving as the Public Relations Manager for District 121. Beyond Toastmasters, he captures memorable moments through his photography, But wait, I have only seen him capture Toastmasters meetings and other education sessions. But hoping to see a lot of more photos henceforth. Let's welcome this multifaceted individual and my dear friend DTM Udanka Arjun with a huge round of applause.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Toastmaster Sindhu and Toastmaster Sai. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and my beloved members. Today, I stand here just not to give a vote of thanks, but also to open up the deepest gratitude I have towards this club. This club has given me a lot of memory, a lot of learning, a lot of new platforms where I can explore myself. This is not just for this is not for my team, it's for each and every member who knocks up to this club. Every person who comes to this club has gone back with something in their hand, with something in their heart, with something in their mind. Today, I will take this opportunity to extend my thanks to all the dignitaries present here, starting off with District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Arjun Sundaraj, past International Director Gauri Sheshadri, past International Director, our home club member to be Distinguished Toastmaster Nagaraja Rao, past District Director Vanitha, past Club Pro Director Subramanyan, and many more, and our club mentor, Distinguished Toastmaster Lalana. Without your support, without your guidance, this 25 years of journey would not look the same. Thus, the dedications you guys have, the energy you put into these meetings, the drive, the energy drive you get here is something no one can match it. This is not just the 25 years of what we have seen, we look forward to witness it for next 25 years too. And a special thanks and shout out to my team, which has made this evening a beautiful one. Starting off with the MCs, Toastmaster Sindhu and Toastmaster Sai, the back-end team, Toastmaster Ujjwal, Toastmaster Gauri and Toastmaster Raja, the Sergeant-at-Arms, Toastmaster Sharanye, the PR team, Toastmaster Pavani, and many more who has contributed. And without the guidance of AKPs, Distinguished Toastmaster K Prabhakara, Distinguished Toastmaster Nagaraja Rao, Distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat, and our club president, Toastmaster Balaji, this wonderful evening would not be here. I have seen them work day and night for this. We have sat hours together to make sure everything which took place today in the last 2.5 hours was on place. From the script, from the timings, to each and every detail we have looked. During this 25 years of journey, let's not forget one person who has made it. Apart from the mentors, apart from you yourself, there is one other members whom we actually need to thank. That's your family, who made sure when you're out there in Toastmasters, they take care of yourself. But between the thicks and thins, they made sure they let you go, explore what you want to explore, and come back with a win. With that, thank you everyone who was seated right here for gracing this wonderful evening and making sure our 25 years of journey is a memorable one. Looking forward to witness you all in our upcoming milestone meetings and in handing over the charge back to the Toastmasters.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Udanka, for guiding us throughout and also spamming my phone for the last few days. I now invite President Balaji to kindly felicitate Distinguished Toastmaster Udanka. Can we have a huge round of applause?
Firstly, I definitely want to say something about Udanka. A lot of us Meconians who haven't attended district conferences, Udanka is a part of the district top 8 team. He's so humble, so grounded. In fact, most of the chairs and tables here, more than them were moved by Udanka. A humble person indeed, but the kind of work that is put in for the Toastmasters fraternity and also for Mecon Communication Club. Whenever you go out there, be it area level, division level and district level, he functions as a flag bearer and a pride of Mecon. I think he deserves a huge round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic experience it has been to host this event for all of you. Seeing the energy, the enthusiasm in this room has truly been my pleasure. From welcoming our esteemed guests to guiding us through the engaging discussions and activity, it's been an honor to be your host.
We want to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. Your active participation, your smiles, and your enthusiasm have made this event truly remarkable. A big round of to all of you for being such a vibrant, engaged, and also patient audience. Can we have a huge round of applause for us? And another round of applause for us, the host of the event, please. This will always stay close to my heart, and until the 50th anniversary, signing off.
Before we get back with Balaji, I have a small introduction for him. From being Tommy to being a principal, you grew to command within a span of an hour. The man who derives strength from the presence of his better half. The man who is in command today, the poster boy of Mecon officially. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
I mean, for all that, Tommy, I just have one thing to say. I wish Snehal also could derive some energy from his better half. Looks like that better half is not the best out there. He's not married yet. So, firstly, can we all raise our right hand? Point at Toastmaster Srinath Ranganathan. Sridhar Ranganathan, my bad. We are at the end of the session. And tell him a big, loud thank you.
Thank you.
It has been kind of dreamy for me to listen to him speak because I have always been hearing about Sir, and I have heard about the quality of talking and the quality of content. And today, I think content was personified. So thank you so much for that fantastic session. Definitely, closing remarks was quite extensive, but definitely I'm hungry. I just want to end this entire meet on one last note. Firstly, let's thank all the role players. I don't want to repeat names. I think whoever is worked, they all know what they've done. And over and beyond, let's have a bigger round of applause for every single Meconian who's here. Because to sit through, not having a role and just enjoying the proud moment. I just want to ask you all one question. How proud are you today being a Meconian? Very? How much? This much? Okay, if these are measures, can you show me how happy you are?
Beyond the roof.
How happy you are?
55 years is too long a time. Too long.
Awesome. Okay, while Udanka said we put a lot of thought into a lot of things, but I think there was this one thing that we put the maximum thought into, something that's very, very close to our heart, something that is very, very soulful. It was me, Udanka, and Snehal who were sitting right at this hotel in the ground floor. We took almost 2 hours, 25 minutes to make one decision. what's on the menu. And we took 3 hours of discussion on how we are going to serve liquor. So people who are 21 and below, soup is this side, on to my left hand side. If we find you on the right hand side, I'll be calling 100. I'm not even joking. Anyone below the age of 21?
Actually, it is 18.
8, okay. Right now, you might not even get married in India. Drinking is a long shot. Okay, so I just want to end this. Have a happy meal. No big speech from here. Yes. Have a happy meal. Before the happy meal, let's have a good group picture.